Now, we're still about 2 months away from the official start of summer, but already many have been complaining about the heat. Well, our reporter Natalia Clark spoke with a sustainable development expert who explains the rising temperature is the effect of climate change and urges stakeholders to ramp up efforts to combat the issue.
More than likely, when you left home this morning, you were greeted, embraced almost immediately by the warm rays of the sun. They seemed to almost be strangling you as you go about your day's tasks. Well, expect a lot of that this year, as experts believe there is a high probability that 2024 will be another record hot year. Locally, experts are sounding the alarm for more to be done by every Jamaican to slow the effects of climate change. To the government, Professor of Caribbean Sustainable Development at the University of West Indies, Mona, Anthony Clayton, shares two suggestions. The first, facilitate the construction of energy-efficient buildings.
Change the building codes and get people like the National Housing Trust to get involved so that the buildings that we are putting up from now on should really be much more energy efficient, ideally should be net zero.
This, he says, is not far-fetched, as the UM Mona is home to one such building, the first of its kind in the Caribbean.
And if you live in one of these buildings, instead of getting a light bill every month, you get a check from the power company. Now, who wouldn't want that? This is actually a very economically attractive option, and the cost of designing and putting up a net zero building is coming down all the time because we're getting better at doing it.
Professor Clayton calls on the government to further contribute to a solution by removing the import duty on electric vehicles.
It would help to reduce this country's need to import hydrocarbons, which is one of our major expenditures of foreign exchange. So if we zero rate importation of electric vehicles, we can accelerate the transition over to electric vehicles, take a lot of the gasoline and diesel engines off the roads, and reduce our energy import bill.
This, he adds, improves air quality, which in return could reduce heart diseases and asthma in Jamaica. Now, while he admits countries like China and India contribute more significantly to the problem, the expert surmises Jamaica's role should not be understated. Professor Clayton warns that while the situation is genuinely critical, it's not a matter for despair, as we can still save the world by playing our part. Natalia Clark for CVM News.